Hello, everyone. Welcome to ELI, the place where you get your daily dose of inspiration for entrepreneurship. And today we have with us Jaymin Bhuptani, who is the founder of Uplers. Hi, Jaymin. Welcome to ELI.
Hey, it's pleasure being here. Thanks for having me, Priya.
I would request you, Jaymin, to introduce yourself to our audience and tell us a bit about your background prior to entrepreneurship. Like, where were you born and brought up? Where did you study? Which all companies did you work for? And how did you land up in entrepreneurship?
Okay, yeah. So, today I run two companies. One is a hiring platform called Uplers, where we help global companies hire top-notch curated remote talent from India. And we'll discuss about it in a bit. And the second company I run is called Mavlers, where we help, global agencies and marketing teams of enterprise brand execute their marketing automation and operations. Yeah, so probably you want to know a bit more about me. So born and brought up in Ahmedabad. I did my MCA. Followed that, I joined a company called Elite Core as a Java trainee. Right. Post that, I did my MBA from SP Jain, and I spent a few years in Singapore and Dubai. I started my first company in Dubai back in 2008, and then I exited from that company in 2012 and launched so-called Uplers today. And yeah, since then the journey is amazing. What I love about entrepreneurship or business is that I believe that purpose of any business is to add value to the society, right? Solve some problem of the society. And yeah, for us, the purpose of running the business is creating opportunities.
Mhm.
India need a lot of opportunities for its young population, and we are super passionate about that.
Right. So, speaking of problem, can you tell us what exactly you are solving for, and which was the year when you started Uplers?
So it's a long journey, right? So I started the company under the name of Insight back in 2012, and then the core focus was helping those global digital marketers with digital services, and that's what we call Mavlers today, right? That's a separate brand, separate business division. Uplers, we started in 2021,
Mm-hmm.
right? And because in my entire journey, we have helped global companies leverage the Indian talent ecosystem to get their offshore projects done. And we sense that need that hey, post COVID, many of these global companies also want to hire from India. And why? Because there is an acute talent crunch in those Western countries, right? It is said that by 2030, India would be the only country which would have surplus of tech and digital talent, and every other country in the world would have deficit of that. So there is a imbalance in demand and supply,
Wow.
and India with its massive talent ecosystem, which is 6.5 million today, and every year 500,000 young professionals are entering into the industry. And I'm only talking about tech and digital world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the world is facing that talent crunch, and we firmly believe that India is an answer to that the talent crunch the world is facing. So our model is all about that. Uplers is a hiring platform where at one end we attract those global companies who want to hire from India,
Mm-hmm.
and our mission is to make their hiring very reliable, simple, and fast. And how we do that? That on the other side of the platform, we attract thousands of Indian talents, applicants every month,
Mm-hmm.
and we curate top-notch talent from that. So all those talent have to go through the communication assessment, technical assessment, behavioral assessment, and we build a network of top around 3% of the talent who are ready for global teams. And
Mm-hmm.
then our job is to match, right? Where we understand that global companies need. We find the right talent from them through our matchmaking algorithm, and we place that talent into global companies. So at one side, we are helping those companies to hire an amazing talent from India.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side, we are placing Indian talent straight to the global company where they can earn better. It's a remote world, so it's a remote job which the talent definitely look for. It's a great culture for them because it's, they work on latest technologies, projects, they work with amazing people. So it's a win-win for both, right? So consider us as, kind of shadi.com for global jobs. So at one side we have companies, at other side we have Indian talent, and our job is to do the match make and beyond,
Got
because we believe that hiring is just a milestone, right? Companies hire with an objective.
it.
If they are hiring, say, a team of developers, it is not just for the sake of hiring. They want to launch a product, they want to serve their customer. There is an objective, a business objective along with that. So we also, when the companies hire, we also support them throughout their journey, where we manage all the payroll and compliance. We have a role called talent success coach,
Mhm.
which always stays with the talent and make sure that this engagement flourish. Uh, and we are solving all those challenges which comes on the way when a global company hire Indian talent, those cross cultural differences, the differences in way of working. So we educate the talent how to be a true remote team member for a global company. We educate customers that, hey, when you are hiring from India,
Mhm.
what you need to take care of. So we have hired, those global cross-cultural expert. We have created courses for talent. We have created courses for companies, and our passion is to, hey, make this engagement work and flourish. And really passionate about creating those opportunities for Indian talent, where and these are net new opportunities, right? Where we are convincing global companies, and yeah, they are coming to India and hiring.
Got it. So curious to know one thing here. The companies from US, they cannot straight away hire from other countries, like let's say from India. They due to their regulatory compliances. So how does it work? Is it the company who takes the people directly into their payroll, or you act as an employer, and the talent works for the company directly? How does it work?
No, yeah. So I think we take care of all that heavy loading, right, for the company.
Mhm.
So we take the talent on our payroll. We manage all the local compliance. Those global companies don't need to worry about anything, right? If there is an learning and development support required, we come into picture. If there is an IT support required, we come into picture. So we play that holistic role in this entire game, where the companies don't need to worry about, because I think we need to take that fear of managing team in India out of their mind, and we are convincing a lot of companies to come to India and hire, because we are facilitating the entire journey for them.
Okay. Uh, One of the reasons why people of India choose to work for companies outside India are because of the pay packages, because the pay in dollar and other currencies are usually much higher than Indian pay scales. So can you tell us a little bit about, that aspect of, remote hiring? Around how much extra does a candidate make if they work for a, company outside India?
Yeah, so we have seen the pay rise anywhere between 50% to 400%.
Wow.
Right, it all depends, right, that, hey, what kind of opportunity that is, and how the talent is prepared to crack it. But increase in pay is one thing, right? Now if you see, we also see that, hey, a lot of talent is very eager to grab these opportunities because these are remote, and most of the companies in India have started calling back to work from office. And this tech talent ecosystem don't want to go to office and work. So I think a better pay, it's a remote work is another advantage. And they work on exciting projects. They work with very senior, experienced global teams. And
Mm-hmm.
that culture of being part of a global team is another factor. So it's a better pay, it's a better work, better culture, and it is remote. So I think all this combined, makes it a really attractive offer for Indian talent.
Got it. I think the problem is straightforward and you are solving it nicely. Curious to know a little bit about the business model. Like, how do we make money as a venture? What is our typical, cut in the whole process? And how do we acquire clients?
Yeah, so typically, the business model is very simple. Uh, our purpose is to create opportunities. When I say create opportunities, it is place Indian talents in global companies, right? And we are revenue model agnostic, because I think our success is when we place a talent into company. So
Mhm.
typically, most of the clients, hire, these talents on contract, where we employ this talent, client pay us, we keep our cut in between, and we pay the talent. And this cut is very thin compared to other industry standards.
Mhm.
We pay most of it back to the talent. So that is one model. And another model is where few clients have provision to take this talent on their payroll. So they select the talent, and like any placement service, we charge a one-off fee to the client, which is
Mhm.
typically percentage of the yearly salary, and
Right.
that take them on their payroll. So these are the two revenue models we typically have.
Mhm.
How do we attract clients? Yeah, it's we take part in exhibitions. Before a couple of months, we went to London to exhibit. We have a large marketing team, PR team, sales team, which always uh, look after clients who are looking to hire globally, and we
Mhm.
take brand India to them, convince them that, hey, if you're open to hire from, say, Latin America or Europe, why you should consider India, and we proudly represent India and Indian talent ecosystem to them and bring them to hire from India. So I think, yeah, it's considerable work to bring clients, but I think the best part is that with each and every client we are bringing, we
Mhm.
are placing Indian talents in global company, and that gives us the satisfaction.
Got it. Uh, Now let us discuss a little bit about your personal journey as an entrepreneur. And curious to know one thing. So you started out as more of marketing guy. You opened a marketing agency where giving services around marketing. How did you pivot from marketing to recruitment and staffing, which is a different industry altogether? And
Yeah,
how did the transition take place?
yeah. So interesting question, Priya. Right. So, between 2015 and 2019,
Mhm.
because as a marketing offshore agency, we are serving a lot of global companies. So in any month we serve around 500 global companies through our that business model. And after 2015, many of those companies started coming to us not just for our services, but they
Mhm.
wanted to set up a team in India, right? And it is pre-COVID era, right? So we started hiring those people within our companies, started creating our bench, and started serving those clients. But we were facing few challenges into that model, which is a traditional staffing model, right?
Mhm.
Where we saw that, hey, creating a very large bench is practically not possible for business. And then without a large bench of professionals in multiple skill sets, we were not able to kind of justify to clients, we were not able to do the right matchmaking. And
Mhm.
that's where we started kind of a pivot, that, hey, instead of creating a bench internally, let's create a network externally, and we reduce our margins, we pay better to the talent. That way we'll be able to attract better talent from the market. And most importantly, we'll be able to do the right matchmaking, we'll be able to deliver a talent which client actually needs. So it
Right.
started as a trial project back in 2019. Then COVID hit. We put this project on back burner for those initial 6 months when the priority was surviving rather than growing.
Right.
And then when we saw that, hey, the business again started growing post COVID, we picked up this project again. And the best part was that COVID brought that openness for remote,
Mhm.
right? So I think it was the right time for us to, hey, pick up this model again. And now more clients, companies were open to hire remote talent. And yeah, since then we picked it up. We started trialing on few customers. It went really well. Clients were very happy. They were bringing more references to us. We started seeing, hey, our talents were super happy because they were getting an amazing opportunity to work with those clients. And we saw that initial success stories. We felt that product market fit. And
Mhm.
then, yeah, we started scaling it.
Got it. Any
So
any
that's
big,
how a marketer entered into a recruitment game. Yeah, your question was that.
yeah, any big challenges along the way while building and growing this venture?
Oh yes, plenty, right? So so I think the biggest thing, and now I see that we are getting better at that, is that hey, we traditionally come from a service company, right? And then moving from a service mindset to a product or platform mindset, and that too when the business has scaled up to a level.
Mm-hmm.
So as both the companies, we are a team of 1,200 right now, and I think that mindset shift was the biggest challenge. And now we are having better grip on that. That hey, we are not a service company, we are a platform. And that thought process, now I see that hey, we all are living day by day at Uplers. So I think that was one of the biggest shift we had. From a marketing service company to a hiring or talent hiring platform,
Mm-hmm.
which took some time, but I think now we have good grip on that. Uh, and when you are starting, you are trying to solve a problem very differently, because typically this problem would be solved in a very typical recruitment or a staffing service company way. But
Mm-hmm.
we are solving it very differently, right? We see a lot of inefficiencies into the entire hiring process.
Right.
And then especially when it is global companies hiring from India, I think the challenges are of a different level. So we are solving all those challenges one by one. But we see the silver line where hey, if a global company want to hire an amazing talent from India, uh, he give us the JD within 48 hours. Our platform gives him three amazing profiles, and our
Mm-hmm.
commitment to the market is that hey, you take two interviews out of it, and you'll end up hiring your right guy. So I think we are not in a game to share 20 profiles to the client, right? Our system matchmaking algorithm, our team do all the heavy lifting, and we do a right matchmaking for the client, and typically our clients end up hiring within 2 to 3 interviews max.
Mm-hmm. Got it. Speaking of a platform, can you tell us a little bit about what technology do you use? How does the matchmaking algorithm work? Have you developed it
Yes.
in-house? Yeah, tell us about it.
Yeah. Yes. So I think we have a large tech team now, and the team has started using AI, ML, and even Chat GPT very effectively these days.
Wow.
So the algorithm is also we are building, because currently we have a database of 500,000 tenants, and which
Mm-hmm.
is growing by say 50,000 every month. And we see that by in next 3 years, our goal is to have every talent in India registered on our platform, right? So I think it's a game of scale, and that's the best part of India, right? That hey, here you can solve problems at scale. So yeah, I think we have our in-house team which keeps on building those, training the AI engines, keep on enhancing our algorithms. We use a lot of external tool. For example, we use a tool called Versant, which is again an AI-enabled communication
Right.
assessment tool by a company called Pearson. We use it extensively to check the communication skills of the talent, because when we vet the talent, we want to make sure that he has right communication skills, because he's going to work with global teams.
Yeah.
We use tools like Codility, HackerRank, for the technical assessment.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, we are implementing a tool for behavioral assessment, because we learned that hey, in this, the professional engagement, will or the behavioral part is equally important as skill and technical part, and especially in remote environment. So
Mm-hmm.
we are also solving that challenge with technology now. And yeah, so I think it's a mix of our own homegrown tools and leveraging external tech ecosystem. And it's a mix of both, through which we are able to solve this problem at scale.
Got it. My final question. So, all these years of entrepreneurship, I'm sure you would have learned a lot of lessons that other entrepreneurs can take away and probably apply to their ventures. So, tell us some of the top lessons that you have learned as an entrepreneur.
I think learning is an ongoing game, isn't it? It
Yeah.
it never stops. So right. So yeah, many lessons, right? Uh, yeah. So I think you know one is that the clarity of why is very important,
Mhm.
right? Which gives you the drive to wake up every day and hey, churn those 12 hours with full passion,
Right.
right? So that why you are doing what you are doing, right? Why you are running the business, why you are solving this problem. I think it has to be very clear. For example, for me, the why is creating opportunities through both my businesses, and it is all about hey, creating those job opportunities through our platform, creating opportunities for through our service business where we expand our headcounts and serve customers and also create opportunities for India.
Mhm.
So that why is always there. Second, it's all about long-term game, right? So that having that clear long-term vision is always very important. And I have seen in my journey that whenever that vision gets faded a bit, I think you
Mhm.
get distracted. But again, you need to reboot yourself, go into your thinking zone, introspection zone, and get that clarity back. But it's marathon, right? It's a long-term game. It's
Right.
not a short-term thought process here. Yeah, and keep that drive up all the time, right? Because that hunger is very much required to keep on growing because the challenges would come every day, and the
Yeah.
role of an entrepreneur is to wake up every day morning and solve challenges and sleep with that satisfaction that hey, you did something good today. So yeah, clarity on your why, uh, those having that long term vision,
Mhm.
and yeah, staying or keeping yourself driven and hungry is critical.
Got it. Well, on this note, we have come to the closure of the session. Thanks for joining us, Jaymin. It was a pleasure to have you on our platform, and our best wishes for Uplers and all the future ventures that you will build.
Super Priya. Thanks, Satan. Thanks for having me. It was pleasure.
Thank you.